was very unorganized before we brought you guys on, and we went from like averaging 7K views, 8K views to around 50K now. Every single video we pushed out with you guys has done really damn good.
That's why we have a full service done for you. I want to handle the entire process for you.
We were able to get over 3,000 applications for the mentorship, which is 6 times the amount that we had gotten before.
Yo, what's up, boys? Thank you for joining me today to share your experience working on Content Cash Media. Could you briefly describe who you are, bro, what your business is, and just what you do, bro?
100%. Yeah, so I mean, my name's Patrick. I run a platform, an account called pbtrading. And I day trade and I teach people how to trade. And so, I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, a couple of years, and started posting on social media after, I guess, a year and a half of being profitable trading. Started growing our community and everything. And I mean, shit just kind of skyrocketed from there. A lot of people really resonated with our content. A lot of the videos I made were sort of just like making comedy related videos about the struggles people have when they're first starting. And then I started leaning in more towards like educational stuff, teaching people my trading model, how I view the markets, all these things. Of course, always integrating some sort of comedy too, just to make things not too serious, because, you know, trading space sometimes feel a little bit too serious. And yeah, everything just kind of kept growing. And then eventually, obviously, we came across you guys. We wanted to build our YouTube, you know, start building that long form, post more in-depth educational stuff, especially because it would help us attract more people too. We know that with like YouTube, you attract just, I guess, people who are more ambitious, more educated, you know, more hardworking in a sense. If someone's willing to watch a whole YouTube video, typically they're looking to change their lives and stuff. So we decided to run up YouTube with you guys, and that's been absolutely crushing and helped us bring in a lot of people to our channel and to like everything into our funnel as well.
100%, bro. Yeah, I know when you guys came to us, it's like you guys had a hella big short form audience. And I was like, thing is, like, you guys are actually different, and I rock with you guys being like hella funny, because that helps the content a ton. It helps you guys stand out. That's you guys' competitive edge, and that's how we allow that to bleed through our content, even with the long form stuff. But I was like, if you guys are already going crazy with the short form, like, imagine if we actually put in some good YouTube videos. And you guys were doing decent.
Yeah.
Now we're averaging like 50K a video, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And I want to get into that too for sure. I want to talk about what did it look like before and after working with us in terms of revenue growth, for leads or that type of stuff, and then we can talk YouTube stuff later.
Yeah. I mean, so I'd say, like, you know, simple answer, it was very unorganized before we brought you guys on. A lot of it was because when you know, the most important thing for me is to push out content for people, right? I want to push out educational videos. I want to push out funny videos. I want to grow my audience.
Yep.
And so when I'm doing both the content and like the nitty gritty editing stuff, all that stuff, it's just like, that's time I'm wasting where I could be pushing out more content and growing my audience. And so we were at a point, bro, where we were trying to push out this YouTube series, just teaching everyone like all the trading concepts we know and such, called ICT for Dummies. And we were editing, I mean, Blake and I, because we run the channel together, we were editing all the videos ourselves. And it's like, we would kill, you know, 5 hours in one day, or maybe we'd kill like a couple hours for like the course of 2-3 days editing one video, when we could have been recording more videos. And it made just the whole YouTube, I guess, process of trying to grow the subs and everything really like not enjoyable whatsoever. And we also didn't know like how to track the right people, in a sense. Little stuff like, you know, even stuff that you put in your description, whatever it may be, edits to hook people better, all that stuff, you know, is what you guys were able to implement. And we went from like averaging 7K views, 8K views to around 50K now. And every single video we've pushed out with you guys has done really damn good, really damn. So yeah, I mean, it's about like delegating the right work. You know, if whoever's listening to this is like, you want to be pushing out content, then that should be your main focus. You shouldn't have to worry about the editing, the ideation, if you want like scripting for a video, any of that stuff.
Yep, 100%, bro. That's why we have a full service done for you. We want to handle the entire process for you, because you guys are mad busy. Like, nobody wants to be doing that, like you're saying. And I feel like with you guys stuff, now we got like all of our videos we posted are like the most popular on the channel, which is like crazy to see. I want to talk about kind of like, because a lot of people do short form content. I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but kind of break down like the nurture from short form versus long form, because I want to see like how that really benefited you guys' funnel.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think the whole goal with short form is, for one, it's an easier way to find your audience, right? So if you're pushing out a ton of short form, it's like you're starting to understand what people want from you more. And I guess whatever people resonate most with you in your short form, that's what you want to convert to long form. But it's not, it's easier said than done, of course, which is where you guys. And so it's like, if Nate and his team sees that like we have these good psychology videos that I'm pushing out on my short form on my Instagram and TikTok, and they're doing a couple 100,000 views, maybe 1 million views, he's going to tell us, yo, you guys should turn this into a more in-depth video on long form, which people will watch and it'll grow your audience. And it's like stuff like that where obviously it's important to start with short form because you build your audience, you get people's retention really quickly. But when you're trying to scale things up and just really, I guess, leverage your audience and grow more, you need to start dominating YouTube, which is one of the hardest platforms to really do right. And that's what you guys are able to help us with. But it's super important that people try at least to get their long form up once they have the short form relatively figured out.
100%. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people think that they need like hella views or hella steps to do it. We have like literally like this client, 500 subscribers, did like 60K in 5 weeks. So I don't think it's like, you just need to understand once you do lock in on YouTube and get it to work, it can work forever. And I feel like another thing I want to talk about, I know you mentioned the process of like you guys editing stuff. What was, in terms of like, we handle the entire process now, but before that, and then also time commitment, did you guys have freelance editors, or how was that process? Or you guys, how was that like situation?
Yeah, it was a complete mess because then it got to a point where like, fuck, we can't be editing all this ourselves. We can't be doing all this. So we had one guy editing our videos, another guy doing our thumbnails, and it's just like, dude, this is so messy. Like, we need one team who can handle everything on like the back end side of things, and that's it. Because if you're outsourcing for multiple different people, communication is difficult, just overall efficiency is horrible. Like, some guy might have a problem this day and can't do the thumbnail, and so now you have to wait 4 days for a thumbnail even though your video's ready. But when you have like a structured team, it's like those things are quick corrections, right? If the thumbnail guy can't do it at this very moment, we have someone else to back us up with and help push this out or whatever. So it's always like a constant flow, and just efficiency is as optimal as it can be.
For sure. And with the efficiency, I want to talk about the time commitment, because I feel like just because we handled the entire, I feel like people think you still have to put in hella work, but I want to ask you, like, how much time do you spend recording, or like just think about YouTube content in general? I'm curious on that.
Bro, I mean, easily just recording, editing, like any other stuff, I'd say each video took about 6 hours. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like about 6 hours for each video. And like, that's a lot of time. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, first thing is sitting down, thinking of the video. How are we going to go about this video? Okay, that's probably takes like 30, 40 minutes maybe, if you really want to plan it well. Then record. That's another hour, right? Usually like a 20-minute video is usually like an hour long sometimes. So that'd be like an hour of recording, and then, watching it over, doing all the little edits. Editing is the worst part on the planet.
Long, bro,
that could take days. It depends like really how much time you have to sit down and go over all the little stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about simply like raw edits. That's just cutting between like pauses and stuff like that. But if you want like cool edits,
yeah,
and stuff like that, that's not even something I was capable of doing. So that wasn't even in the picture, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what about now, bro? What does it look like now with us in the play?
I mean, nowadays it's like, it's as simple as, okay, we'll reach out to Nate. Be like, we're pushing out 4 videos this month. He'll send us some ideations like, okay, we've seen a lot of people in your audience maybe want to see this style of video of psychology, or this is a really popular video that the trading space likes to see. So it'd be cool to hear from you guys. You guys should push this, and this out for this month. Okay, cool. Then it'll be something as simple as like, hey, can you give me like, if you're talking about, let's say we're doing a video on teaching the 5 most important concepts.
Yeah.
Nate and his team will reach out to us and be like, hey, can you guys just like quickly write down, these concepts and a brief summary on it. Super simple. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes usually. We go ahead and write that, and then he gives us a super fire script, just super organized, right? Starting from the beginning with like, okay, banger intro, then we get into this, then we get into this, and now let's say we want to promote, for example, the applications for a mentorship, like when we're running like a 1% mentorship. He'll be like, okay, throw in this little CTA right here, and then go back into this information. And so the funnel is just really optimized, and it helps us attract the right people, because if this guy's 20 minutes into the video, most likely he's looking to get mentored and whatever and this and that, and the whole funnel like works really cohesively. And so that, I mean, the recording at that point, since everything is done, only takes, I mean, the recording is always going to take like an hour usually, but we're not doing the 4 hours of the fucking 5 hours of editing. We're not doing all the other stuff. So it's just as much as writing down a quick summary of what the video's about, recording it, and you're done.
Damn. Nah, that's crazy, because Brett said the same thing. He was like, takes 1 hour per week to record a video. I want to talk about that launch too. How was that with YouTube? Because I know that shit was crazy. So
yeah. And before when we would run our mentorships and stuff, we would get most of people from Instagram stories, because I don't really post Instagram reels or TikTok videos about it. I don't really push it out like that. I think YouTube's more of a place like that because you can really do proper educational stuff there. And if someone's willing to watch a YouTube video, like I said, they're most likely willing to, join a mentorship or something like that. And so that's why we wanted to grow the YouTube, because you attract the right people. And I mean, it's crazy because despite only having 15,000 subs at the time, now we have 20 plus thousand, and we're growing every day. But we were able to get over 3,000 applications for the mentorship, which is 6 times the amount that we had gotten before. So. And the Instagram and TikTok hadn't changed too much, right? We had grown obviously like a couple tens of thousands on the Instagram and TikTok, but the one thing that really changed was that we had YouTube rolling out, and I mean, it was a complete game changer. So that was for sure really, really helpful, just for Blake and I, because we were able to go through more applicants and accept just people, I guess, who are more qualified.
100%. And the nurture with the short form content too, just like next level. But that's what, because I think we did 400K long form views and like 12,000 added subscribers. So that's what YouTube's really gonna do for you. And I want to see, like, in your mind, where do you kind of see us going to like the next 6 to 12 months? Now that the YouTube's starting to ramp up, we're starting to throw in more vlogs, more personality stuff with you guys in there too. Challenge videos soon. Like, how do you kind of see the future of the channel?
Yeah, I mean, I for sure think in the next 6 months, will be about 100K subs, if not, or more. Just because we have really good momentum, and at this point, I mean, it's crazy because even for example, whoever's watching this, what Nate and the Content Cash Media team does, it helps you build this foundation and, like, I guess, standard for your channel. So let's say, there's actually been times now where we'll push out the 4 videos with Nate and his team, and then I'll tell Nate, like, hey, I'm going to throw in like these 2 extra videos that I recorded on my own. They're pretty raw. And I'll push them out, and they'll still do really good now. But why? Because we had Nate and everyone else optimize our other videos, and so now we have a better audience. People enjoy our content more, and we have just this structure where we're pushing out at least one video a week. Bang, bang, bang. You throw in more videos there, you're still riding the momentum of those really high quality videos that have all those cool edits. So yeah, I mean, I pushed out a psychology video yesterday. It's already at 10K views, completely raw. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's like the whole part. Like with our stuff, we want it to be to a point where you can humanize your audience, but you can also drop like hella sauce around what you guys actually do. We have the value content, we have the top of funnel content, middle funnel content, bottom funnel, all of it. We treat it as a funnel, but also we YouTubeify it. And then that's how it's able to like go along and actually like print with the stuff. So that's how we run it there. I had a question about, did anything like shock you about our service? Because I don't think a lot of people even know what the service really is sometimes, because it's kind of like it's unique. So did anything shock you about our service, or any misconceptions, or not?
I mean, it was just crazy how in-depth the whole process was, right? Like, obviously I had thought at first it was something maybe as simple as like editing, thumbnails, whatever, and some ideation, in the sense where it was like, yeah, you guys should make these 4 videos with like an example of, like, let's say someone videos. No, I'm talking about a whole fucking 5 summary of how the video should be, broken down to like the psychology of viewers, right? This is information to give here, then here, and here. Like, it's really, really in depth, which for anyone watching, it could be overwhelming at first when you're starting out, but you realize, and trust me,
you guys have it too.
Yeah, and it just fucking, bro, it does amazing. It prints. So you have to just trust the process. And it gets easier every single time. So now it's like, anytime Nate sends me over some freaking 5-page thing for a video, I'm not thinking like, damn, this is a lot. It's more so like, okay, this is a structure. It's a similar foundation to last video, but this is kind of what I want to be targeting now. And it's like a far easier to understand, and we flow through the video way better. Yeah, I mean, that's what really shocked me, just how in-depth everything is. They're on top of you guys all the time. So don't think that it's like you're paying for the service and you're kind of getting like disregarded. Like, no, like it's a team effort, and everyone's kind of holding each other accountable to push stuff out.
100%. Yeah, we're communicating every day in the Slack channel. We treat the channel like it's damn near ours. I take this shit hella serious, bro. So like, yeah, I appreciate the kind words there for sure. And I feel like that's just like our onboarding process, how we think about strategy. Like I said, I would go really deep into it. It takes a couple of days for me to do a strategy doc, and then we're scheming on all fronts from there. So I definitely appreciate that. I feel like my last question probably is, if anyone is on the fence about working with CCM, what would you say to them? And yeah, I think that's really it. I don't got anything else for real.
I would just tell them like straight up like this. You can choose to think that you can do everything on your own and you can outsource for cheap or whatever, and that's the method. But the reality is, there's nothing more important on this planet when you're trying to grow something sustainably than having a proper team. And so you know, at the by having a proper team, it's going to require you investing some time and money into it. But
100%.
that's anything else in life. And if you're not ready to make commitments like that and hold yourself accountable, it's like paying for a fucking gym membership. You want to go to a good gym, it's going to cost you a bit,
Yeah.
but all those benefits. So, you know, like I said, whoever's listening to this, if you're someone who's ready to actually grow your channel and really see these numbers that you haven't seen before, I would say you make this investment, because I'm sure you'll learn a lot and it'll help grow your channel a shit ton. And yeah, I mean, it's the only way to go about it. You gotta structure things right.
100%. I appreciate you, my dog. Make sure I go tap in with my boy Patrick and Blake down below. Blake couldn't make it, but these are really my dogs. We've been killing it, and we're gonna keep killing it for sure. Besides that, you got any last words, or are you good to go, bro?
Nah, man, I just appreciate everything you guys do. Seriously, it's been amazing. It kind of just it brought Blake and I back on our feet with YouTube because we were a bit discouraged when we started. You know, the views were just not what we expected,
Yeah.
and then finally we pushed out some content with you guys, and we were able to see like genuine growth for once, and it was just
Hey.
it was
Yeah, I'm super happy to hear that, bro. Besides that, thank you guys for watching this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
boys.